All right, everyone. So we're diving deep into something today, and it might seem a little far-fetched, you know? Like, could a potato actually win the Kentucky Derby? We're talking Formula One. Could Lando Norris really catch Max Verstappen for the Drivers' Championship?
Well, let's just say if we were putting money down in Vegas right now, Lando wouldn't be the favorite, that's for sure.
Right. Long shot.
But hey, that's what makes it fun to think about, right? And you come to the right place to explore those what-ifs. We've got the latest driver standings right here, hot off the press as of today, September 26th. And to put it simply, Verstappen is sitting comfortably at 331 points.
Okay, so he's got a lead for sure.
Norris, a respectable 279, but yeah, that's a 52-point gap.
Okay, so not impossible to close, though, right? We still have 6 races left on the calendar. That's a lot of racing to go. Remind me, someone, how many points are still up for grabs?
180 points. 108.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, more than 3 times the current gap. And that's what makes this whole thing so interesting, right? Mathematically, it's not impossible.
Yeah.
But calling it an uphill battle is putting it mildly.
Understatement of the year, perhaps. But here's the thing. Norris has had this, recent surge. And not just a little one. Singapore. He was unstoppable, winning from pole position, and get this, leading every single lap.
Now that was a drive. You could practically hear everyone holding their breath when he brushed those barriers a couple times, but man, he kept his cool.
Oh, my heart was racing.
That's the kind of performance that makes you wonder if he's found another gear or something.
Right. Is he tapping into something special? Okay, so that's what gets me pumped up. But let's be real, brutally honest here. Experts are even a string of those Singapore-level performances going to be enough at this point?
All right, so here's the truth. Norris could win every single race left on the calendar, and it still might not be enough.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If Verstappen consistently finishes second, the championship is his.
Ugh.
And we're talking about a driver famous for his, almost robotic consistency. It's wild.
So it's not just about Norris being practically perfect, but also needing Verstappen to have some serious bad luck. Have there been comebacks this crazy in Formula One history? Give us some hope here.
Well, you can't talk about epic F1 comebacks without bringing up Vettel, right? 2012, he was trailing by 44 points with just 10 races left. And bam, champion.
Okay, so it's happened before. Is this our Vettel moment? Are we witnessing history in the making?
Whoa, hold on. There's a difference here. The drivers Vettel overtook. They weren't exactly known for having Verstappen's rock-solid consistency.
Ah, that's true.
And that's what makes this so fascinating. It's like asking someone to outsmart a chess computer that, never makes a wrong move.
Okay, so not impossible.
Yeah.
But we're definitely in, need a miracle territory here.
Yeah, you could say that.
But hey, miracles make sports fun, right?
That's true.
So, if Norris pulls this off, what needs to happen, aside from him suddenly growing a magic mustache?
Well, I'm not sure about the magic mustache part.
Worth a shot, right?
Haha, maybe. But strategically speaking, Norris needs wins, and he needs them consistently. We're talking top of the podium every single race.
Okay, so dominance, got it.
Exactly. And let's not forget those sprint events either. Those points add up fast.
Right, the sprint races.
Yeah.
For those who might not be as familiar with the format, these are like mini races on Saturdays that award extra points. So even more pressure every single weekend.
Absolutely.
But even with flawless driving from Norris, we're still kind of relying on Verstappen having some bad luck. Realistically, how likely is that? The guy's a machine.
It's true. Verstappen's consistency is legendary. I mean, the guy's incredible. To have a real shot, Norris needs some serious misfortune to strike Verstappen. We're talking multiple DNFs, those races where a driver doesn't finish because of a crash or mechanical issue.
Right.
We need at least 2 races where Verstappen is way off his game.
So not exactly something you can strategize for.
Not really, no.
Unless, you've got someone who can hack into Red Bull systems and cause a tiny little engine problem.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Or am I? No, okay, in all seriousness, that's a lot of hope riding on stuff outside of the control.
It is what it is, and that's the thing about a comeback like this, But remember, these are elite athletes, the best of the best. Their job is to focus on what they can control. And for Norris, that means driving each race like it's the championship decider.
It's like that saying, control the controllables.
Exactly.
Easier said than done when the pressure's on like this. But speaking of things you can control, what about the car? Can McLaren really keep up with the Red Bull? They have been looking strong lately, I'll give them that.
They have, and that's a huge factor. McLaren's development this season, especially in these last couple of months, has been pretty amazing. They've brought some key upgrades to the car that have really boosted performance.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't like engineers or whatever, break it down for us.
Yeah.
What kind of upgrades are we talking about? Are these little spoiler adjustments or full-on engine swaps?
Well, you can't just swap out an engine mid-season, though that would make things interesting, wouldn't it?
Oh, imagine.
We're talking about refining the aerodynamics, like you said, tweaks to the front wing, the floor of the car, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
They might seem small, but they make a big difference in how much downforce the car generates, which translates into speed and grip through the corners.
Gotcha.
And then you've got suspension tweaks, tire management strategies, all sorts of things they can adjust.
Wow, it really is like this constant game of fine-tuning.
Exactly. And every track has its own unique demands.
Right.
Some are all about high speed, others need more downforce for those tight corners. Every little adjustment can make a difference.
So the track itself can be a factor. Like, are there any upcoming races where the track might actually give Norris and McLaren a bit of an edge?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? And you know, the strategists over at McLaren are poring over that as we speak. We've got a real mix coming up, some high-speed circuits, you know, where Red Bull usually does really well.
Right.
But then there are a few that are all about, like, handling those tight corners and tricky braking zones, and those could really play to McLaren's strengths. Definitely something to watch.
I've heard every track's got its own little personality. Right?
Really.
Okay, so we've got Norris needing to drive, like, out of his mind. Verstappen needing a little bit of rain on his parade, and then some strategic track choices that could tip the scales. Anything else we should be keeping an eye on in these last few races? Besides the obvious, of course.
Don't discount the mental game. That's huge. The pressure is on, especially in a title fight this close. How those guys handle that, how they bounce back from setbacks, that could be the difference maker.
It's like that saying, right? Pressure can either make diamonds or burst pipes.
Exactly. And we're going to see who comes out sparkling. Verstappen, now he's known for being cool as a cucumber under pressure.
Yeah, he never seems to crack.
Right. But Norris, he thrives on a different kind of energy. That youthful fearlessness. It'll be really interesting to see how that dynamic plays out on the track.
A real clash of styles, huh? Experience versus raw talent. This is getting good. All right, folks, there you have it. We came into this deep dive wondering if Lando Norris could pull off a miracle. And the odds, well, let's just say they're still pretty long.
That's for sure.
But we've also seen that in Formula One, anything can happen.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I love about the sport. Until that checkered flag waves, you can't count anyone out.
No.
We've looked at the facts, talked about the challenges, and those glimmers of hope, too.
It's all on the line now.
It is. Now it's up to you. Do you believe? And if you were Lando Norris right now, what would your game plan be for these final races? Think about it, because we're about to see an incredible championship battle, that's for sure.